Here is our site, fully migrated from Drupal 6 to Drupal 7. This site has all of the data and functionality that our Drupal 6 site had, but now it's running on the more current and more powerful Drupal 7. At this point, the very final steps of this process are to check the status report page one last time. We'll go to Reports and Status Report. Make sure everything looks good here. We can ignore this PNG warning. If we don't have information on Drupal core update status, we can simply run cron. And we are told that we're up to date entirely. We see a lot of green and no red. That's a good sign. And finally, the very final step is to turn off maintenance mode. We can click this link to go directly to the page that allows us to do that. We can also get there from Configuration, Development, Maintenance mode. And we will uncheck Put Site into Maintenance mode and save configuration. And now, if we were on a live server, our site would be up and out for everyone to see and marvel at. If we go back one last time to our upgrade.txt file, we see that it tells us here in step number 17 to go to Administration Reports and Status Report to make sure everything's working as expected. We have just done that. If you had to change update free access in the settings.php file to true, then you want to go back and make sure that you've changed it back to false. If you don't remember, this is found in starting in the root directory of your Drupal site's default settings. This line is just a little bit down here on line 123. Want to make sure this says false and not true. And then finally, it tells us to take the site out of maintenance mode. And to get started with Drupal 7 administration, visit this URL. And now we are all set. Now I covered this earlier in the tutorial, but to reiterate, we didn't spend much time here covering the theme upgrade process because that process is much less a matter of upgrading properly and more a situation of installing the new version of the theme if one exists and tweaking it until it's how you want it. You can of course install a theme the same way you install modules on Drupal. And in case you're unfamiliar with the process, installing modules and themes on Drupal is much simpler on Drupal 7 than on Drupal 6. You can simply go to Modules and Install New Module. And you'll go to, for instance, if you're installing views, you'll go to the page and you can just copy this link and paste it right here and install it that way. We of course already have views, so I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. Themes work the exact same way. Unlike modules, however, themes don't control the storage and manipulation of your data. They merely affect the presentation of that data. Therefore, there's much more minutia when it comes to getting your site visually back to where it originally was, but none of that is especially technical. It's just a matter of getting the CSS how you want it for your site. With this whole process behind us, I want to thank you all for following along, and I also want to congratulate you, because honestly, upgrading a site from Drupal 6 to Drupal 7 is a process that many people are outright afraid of, and would in general like to avoid at all costs. Hopefully, I've demonstrated that the process, while certainly delicate, is really not all that bad as long as you go through it slowly and carefully, and of course, consult the friendly Drupal 7 upgrade.txt file all the way through. Thanks again for watching.